How you doing, everybody? I see here. Let's talk New York State. I'm just going to focus on New York State because, face facts, I live in this crap hole thanks to the vast majority of Democrats that infest the state. And I say infest because they vote party line. They don't vote the person, and their track record as voting is really crap. And here's an example. Uh, Everybody knows about the previous governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, and his removal for sexual impropriety. And it seems to be a running thing for the Democrat New York governors. I'm sorry to say it, but think back after George Pataki, who was a Republican governor here in New York, and New York was doing fairly well under Pataki, but because there are approximately 7 to 8 Democrats for every one Republican in New York City, Long Island, Westchester, and Rockland counties, the Republicans have very hard time in getting elected into any position other than outside of that area. Okay, and since the vast majority of people live in that area, the rest of the state is, being under the thumb of a bunch of crazy Democrats who think that money grows on trees and they can do whatever they want to the people. Case in point, I believe it was 2006, Eliot Spitzer was elected to office, and then he was removed because he was involved in sexual improprieties with prostitutes. Now, he was replaced by David Paterson, who was, I believe he was the first legally blind governor in the U.S. And guess what? He was removed from office, too, for impropriety with prostitutes. And then we got Governor Andrew Cuomo, who claimed to fame was during the COVID lockdowns. He transferred COVID-infected persons into New York nursing homes, which caused a large number of people to perish, or so they say. But here's the thing. I can understand why he would do something like that because, number one, he's a Democrat. Number two, if these are nursing homes, that means they're getting state funding, and the quicker the population within the nursing homes is reduced, the more money the state saves. So I can understand why such a thing happened. And then we wound up with Andrew Cuomo's replacement, Kathy Hochul. Now, the story is that Governor Kathy Hochul, when she was on the town of Hamburg, New York council, was removed because of radical viewpoints. And since Hamburg is a predominantly Republican community, she didn't fit in. So the story is that she moved down close to New York City so she could be among more people of her same mindset, and now she is currently the governor of New York. Since she has become governor of New York, the purchasing of firearms has become more difficult. The purchasing of ammunition has become more difficult. She changed the law that you can no longer build new residences with gas going into it. But gas is cleaner, it's cheaper, but she wants to do all electric, so she changed the law. You can't do any new construction with any kind of gas lines being installed, which is ironic because she didn't sign it until after she finished building her house with gas lines installed. Figure that one out. Then she was talking about banning gas grills. She was using the radar cameras in work zones so that she could ticket people that were speeding in the work zone. Well, I can understand that. I mean, we just had a guy get killed that was on the highway because people are speeding through a work zone. So for that one, I would applaud her on. However, what she is doing is this. She is taking the radar tickets and she's saying, well, you're a gun owner, and if you're not responsible enough to obey the traffic laws, you're not responsible enough to purchase ammunition or buy a gun. So she holds that against you, which is what she's been doing. Now, she recently did two things which is like foolish as hell. She held a news conference about the safety within the New York City subway system, which is ironic because about 3-4 hours after she held her little press conference, that's when that illegal set that lady on fire. And I hate to say this, but the New Yorkers that were on that subway car, if they didn't try to put the lady out, they just sat there and watch her burn, they all should be charged with involuntary manslaughter as well. I'm sorry. It's time for people to start standing up and protecting our fellow citizens from criminals. And I don't care if you're an illegal or if you're an illegal. If you're a criminal, your butt deserves to be in jail or in rehab, okay? Plain and simple. But needless to say, our illustrious Governor Hochul is now facing calls to be removed from office, to resign, because of her actions. While at the same time, it's on the chopping block. She has the authority to remove Mayor Eric Adams from New York City because he is now moving away from the Democratic plantation and he's wanting to secure New York City. So there's a lot of conflict there. People are saying get rid of him because he's not, doing what he should be doing as the mayor. But what they want the mayor to do is allow criminals to run free. So it's a catch-22. I want to see how things turn out, but that's currently what's going on in illustrious New York State. Now, I will encourage any New Yorkers that happen to watch this video to seriously speak to your Democratic friends if you are a Republican, or if you are an independent, also speak to your Democratic friends and just ask them simple questions. Why do you vote Democrat all the time when the person that is on the Democratic ticket is unworthy of your trust and your vote? Case in point, AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from Queens, New York. Just think, she barely had enough money to afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. and maintain one in New York City. And that was when she got elected in 2018. Now she's got over $10 million in the bank. So Democrats seem to get awfully rich once they get into office. Somebody needs to start finding out why it's happening. But like I said, tonight is strictly New York. Icy out.